I'm entering a question from Tirthesh. Hopefully I said that right. And I feel like this addresses a question that I get quite often. So it seems like a wide one. And his specific question is about, starting a career from India. But what I would like you guys to kind of talk about, because I think it'll encompass his question, is for international individuals looking to get into cyber, or they are cyber, and come to the United States through different means. What kind of what are you seeing? What kind of advice would you give? What are the challenges perhaps that they're encountering, especially if it's for remote work, which is quite popular right now, frankly. Mm-hmm. So.
I can tell you that that's a conversation I've had a lot of discussions around, whether it's with clients or it's with potential candidates. For example, in India, that's a hub for a lot of offshore work, and it's a completely different culture for a lot of people, in the sense that the way people might grow their careers there is quicker in some ways and different. You have a lot of people trying to get a lot of jobs. There are a lot of low-paying jobs accordingly, and that's why the jobs get shipped over there. And to phrase it that way it sounds very negative, but there's actually very good work getting done. And companies, as they face situations like this now, they are looking at different options. If I'm living in another country, I'm looking at companies that have global presences. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm looking for people that are currently working in India for specific companies, and I'm messaging all of them. And I'm saying, hey, how did you get that job? What are the career growth opportunities there? And I think people that are really trying to grow their careers anywhere in the world, taking deliberate steps, trainings, certifications, making it clear that I am a cybersecurity professional, even if it's aspiring. The remote side of things, you have to find and network with recruiters, with companies that might have certain work visa flexibility, work authorization flexibilities. That takes some research, and it changes. And that's a topic of discussion that we have to talk about a lot recently, just from a government perspective. But it's definitely manageable and doable, and it's something that I would expect to potentially increase in opportunity over the next couple of years, especially since you look at, I think the number they throw around is 3 million vacancies, but really that's mostly not in the United States. And so most of these vacancies are not in the United States. I think it's like 570,000 or something of them are in the United States. So we're talking 84% really of the jobs are not here. That means they're somewhere else. So, I think that, it's kind of the same methodology Pete and I have been talking about. You have to be putting in some extra effort to network and research and find out where can I be looking to have the highest ratio of success potentially.
Yeah. And go on, Pete. After this, though, I want to kind of go one back and forth, just because we're getting a lot of questions, and I want to make sure we get to them. Okay. So, but please respond to the international question, Pete.
Yeah. So the issue really is how the U.S. treats work authorizations. It's so tough to get an H-1B. There's a lotto system, and at the end of the day, even if you're remote out of a different country, chances are the employer here in the U.S. will want you to have a U.S. work authorization. And really, that's the biggest hurdle, I think. So one thing that you can do, and this is what I see a lot of people do, is, and this is most common from what I've seen with, like Joe said, global organizations that have a presence in, say, India, and then also the US. I see it a lot with consulting firms. So consider going to work for like the big four consulting firms. They're large global companies. They do a lot of business in India. They do a lot of business in the US. But if you get on board with a company like that, you're able to work in your home country. And then once you've built some experience, that company is more likely to go ahead and sponsor your visa to come work in the US. So that's one way to do it versus trying to find a company that'll just hire you without having worked with you before. It's much easier to get employed with a company and then have them transfer you from one country to another. So that's definitely the route that I would take if I were in that same situation.
Yeah, that's